Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video for rice and long grain rice, what we know and what we can expect. This is going from the screenshots and information we've got from Giant's website, which was just released, I think it was yesterday. We almost missed it if we didn't check for any updates, but here we are. So kicking off, we'll start with the fact sheets for the rice. As you can see there, the 3 growth stages, then you're ready to harvest, harvested and withered. We've got a maximum yield per hectare of 13,200 litres, an average selling price of $3,300. I'm assuming that's per 1,000 litres like FS25 and previous games. That is on the easy difficulty as well, so that price will vary depending on how you're playing. We use 156 litres of seeds per hectare. It's got a 4-month growing duration, and you can plant it in either April, May, and harvest during August and September. Slightly different for long grain rice. You've still got the 3 growth stages, then your 4th is ready to harvest. You've got harvested and withered as well. You can only plant it in April and you can only harvest it in September. So you've got a 1-month window there for long grain rice. So you better be on your toes when it comes to that time of the year. The growing duration is 5 months and you use 500 litres of seeds per hectare. It's got an 18,000 litre yield per hectare as well. And $1,589 average selling price. Again, we think it's per 1,000 litres and that is on easy difficulty, so that price will vary. But let's take a look at some of the other ways you can plant it and what we do know, or what we have the screenshots of how to make the rice fields and the paddies. So here we have the rice greenhouses. By the looks of it, this is for growing your own saplings, because it says you can buy them at the dealership or build the greenhouses to cultivate the rice saplings. I think it's more for you can use the seed again, like if you were to harvest a barley field, you could then take some of that seed, sell it or put it to productions, then keep some seeds and then replant that. That's what I think it's aiming towards. So you can actually keep some of the rice from the previous crop, then regrow it in these greenhouses to then put in. If we look at the screenshots there, you can see the right hand side, you've got the planter sitting there ready with the saplings outside. I think that's what it's based on, and it would be good to see that come to the seeds in the game as well for any crop you harvest. Obviously I know some of them aren't, you know, there's limited to what you can do, but your main grain crops I think would be good if you could keep back some of your wheat or barley or oats, or even sorghum and soybeans, to then use them again for planting the next time it comes round. I think that would be a nice addition, but we don't know if it's coming to the grains and all that, but we do know that that is, well, what I think is coming for the rice greenhouses. But let's look at how you plant it and how you put in the rice paddies, because we have screenshots of that. Well, taking a look here at the rice paddies, we can see that on this first screenshot, we can see that grapes and olives are coming back to FS25, which is good. And it's $1,500. I don't know what kind of size section that is, but we do know that you can create your own size and shape just to where you need it to be. But what it does is it deepens the field so that you can flood it with water and it kind of retains it in that field. Both types of rice are planted in this way. As far as we know, I can't remember which one, I will come to it later on, but one of them is flooded before you plant and one is flooded after you plant. But you need wide open space for this, and you can pick any size field, any shape, because you can customize it to the way you want it and the shape you want it. I think it would be good to do a sort of normal size shaped field, kind of straight edges, straight borders. It makes it a lot easier. But we'll know more once we get the game and we sort of play about with it and we get used to the different ways you can build them. But this is just a quick look at the different screenshots we've got. It doesn't really show it. I think in this second screenshot here, you can see on the left side beside the road there, you can see a kind of shadow from the road to the field. I think that's it already been deepened down, but I'm not 100% sure. There isn't much screenshots of an eye level look to how deep it actually puts it down compared to the other fields or surrounding land. But let's take a look at how you plant them, harvest them, and the sowing as well for the long grain rice and rice. Well, for planting the rice, we will need obviously a tractor, a cultivator, and a lime spreader, but only after a couple of cycles of the rice. You will need the planter and harvester, which are dedicated to this only. It's the Izeki PRJ8D for the planter and another Izeki HJ6130 for the harvester. The fields, when you place them, or make the rice paddies, they are pre-limed when you build them, so you don't need the lime at the beginning, you just need to plant and flood the field. There is a water pump at the side of the field. I'm assuming you need to purchase that separately and put in potentially more than one. I'm not sure how that works yet. You flood the field, then you plant the saplings, and the planter will take care of the fertilization, because if we remember the fact sheets, the planter has an additional capacity for fertilizer, so I'm assuming it puts it down as you go. Like a bigger air drill, it's got the fertilizer space and the seed space as well. So you won't need an additional fertilizer, a run over with fertilizer like normal crops. And the pump's going to provide the amount of water it needs. Just keep a check on the pump to maintain the proper level, or it says you will lose seedlings and yield as well. And by the end of it, the water is going to all be soaked up by the plants at the end of the growth cycle. And then, as we know with everything else, once it's mature, you harvest it, you sell it or process it onto whatever you need. And then to grow the next batch of rice, you just need to apply lime to the field. If it is needed, it's only needed after a few harvests, so as we would check normally, check your field info to see if it needs to be limed at that point. Cultivate it, and then same again, flood the field and go in with the planter and do it all over again. Let's take a look at long grain rice. Well, for sowing long grain rice, it doesn't say a specific seeder. It does have one in the image there, the Unia 3000. But I'm assuming the fact sheets being released today would give us a bit of insight as to what we need for that. Obviously this is slightly different because you don't flood the field first. It is sown in dry like you would a normal crop. Once that is done, you then flood the field and maintain your water levels from there. The pump will only allow the right amount of water, but again, the same with the rice, check it daily to maintain the proper level. If you don't, you will lose some of the saplings. We can have a look there at the little manager window there. So you can choose to either empty or flood the field. Again, we don't know the amount of pumps you need for it, but we know you need at least one. The harvester you need for this, because it's dry when you harvest it, you can use a normal harvester. As we see the screenshots there, we've got the X9 with a header, which looks like a standard kind of header. It doesn't look like too much of a specialized bit of equipment. So this would be the thing you could use instead of rice. You can use this combine for all your normal grains, the normal grain types that the header and the combine would manage. Plus you can do the long grain rice as well. So it's kind of an all-rounder, whereas rice you need the specialist equipment for planting and specialist equipment for harvesting. I'm only saying for planting here for long grain rice isn't specialist because it looks like a standard kind of seeder that would cultivate, drill in, and then kind of, you know, it does everything in one pass. But we don't know. I'm assuming the fact sheets come out today with that information. So as I said, there may be something coming today. I think it's going to be around 1 o'clock. This video is up before this. But at some point today we're going to get the shorts up for the latest fact sheets for the vehicles. I'm assuming there's going to be something to do with the rice, long grain rice planter, and potentially more information on that, but we're not 100% sure because that is the only vehicle we need for that. The greenhouse isn't a vehicle, so I don't think it's going to be included. But we can always keep our eyes peeled and have a look. But that is it for rice and long grain rice. Hope that's kept you up to date enough so you kind of know what you're doing when you get the game, and you know a bit more about it and what the yields are, what you need for it, and the harvesting months as well. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon in the next one, and you'll catch my short for the vehicle updates kind of this afternoon, maybe about 1:30, 2 o'clock. So we'll see you there.